And so, yeah, I don't really think that the legacy is worth preserving.
Can you be a heretic for a sustained time and be a net positive?
He asked, was the legacy of Dr. King worth preserving? And this brother on the left said he don't think that it's worth it. I don't think it's worth it either. Because what it did is sunk us back into a place to where we asked the government, our enemies, to judge themselves, convict themselves, indict themselves, convict themselves, and punish themselves for being our enemies. We stopped standing, we stopped growing and trusting in the Most High God to bring us out of the jurisdiction of the hands of our enemies, and we asked our enemies to be our God. So no, that's not worth preserving. That's why the Most High is going to wipe that from our memory when the Most High sent His Son to deliver us from this wicked kingdom Babylon. He's going to wipe this from our memory. The whole captivity of Edom. He's going to wipe all this from our memory.
I want to respond to what...
I know. I want you to respond to that, and then I'm going to let you respond to that.
Okay. You said, can you be a heretic for a sustained
2 decades, let's say that and be a net positive.
I believe so. I mean, I think this is an example, right? Again, if Dr. King's primary cultural output was his theology, was his biblical theology, then that would be one thing, right? If black folks said, man, I love Dr. King because now I don't really have to believe that Jesus rose from the dead. I could just live my life any way that I want. And as long as I'm a good person because I love my neighbor, my white neighbor or my black neighbor, that I'm good, then that would be one thing. But that's not his primary social output. That's not what he's primarily known for. He's not known as a biblical theologian. He's known as a person who rooted his arguments about social change in sort of biblical principles about personhood, that we are all...
See, he contradicted himself in the same breath. If I Proverbs 18:1. No, Job 9:20. If I justify myself, my own mouth shall condemn me. My own mouth shall find me to be perverse. So what he's doing, he's trying to clean up for Dr. Martin Luther King by he's cleaning up the fact that Dr. Martin Luther King did the same thing that the United States government did. He used politics and religion to accomplish his life goal. His life goal was not to deliver us to the Messiah and Yahweh our God, to take us back to our sovereignty. That was not King's political goal, objective. That was not his King's life objective to deliver us back to our proper standing with the Most High God. But his thing was he was self-esteem. He was self-esteem. He was trying to reach self-esteem. Now, that's where he started out. But after he got down in the work and started getting his butt beat, and he found out he was going into a burning building, he was leading his people into a burning building, then it became real to him that he was fighting for his life. Right? He was in the dragon's mouth. It was too late. Right? But it started off as a life goal, life accomplishment. A fool has no delight in understanding, but that his heart may discover itself. He was building his legacy just like the white man. And he took an opportunity to do it with the power of the people, to lead them and to say, look what I accomplished. But when he found out that it was harder than he thought, even in his personal life, he was not teaching the laws of the Most High God. He was teaching something else. White supremacy, I would say. He was helping white supremacy. But we're going to listen to this brother try to explain it. And that's what the other brother was saying. One path was leading you back to God. When you stayed segregated from your enemy, like the Most High intended for us to do, and not ask them to govern us, not to consent to their jurisdiction and make them our kings and leaders, and to swear allegiance and pledge allegiance and make us one nation. That's a stain on our citizen, on our heavenly citizenship.
All created in God's image, and that no man should be treated differently from another man just because of his skin color. So he was arguing against ethnic partiality, which was sort of the cause of the day, whether by policy and legislation or by social custom. Right? There's some neighborhoods you couldn't move into because they had restrictive covenants. You couldn't.
That argument suggested that the enemy was stronger than God. That was complaining to the enemy instead of complaining to God. The Most High said in 2 Ezra 15, we should be crying and complaining to Him every night and day as we go through our innocent blood being shed. He said He's going to gather up the innocent blood. And he said, through our afflictions we shall return to Him. And we should, and the saints going to cry and complain to Him, not to the nations to give us justice. We take justice. We're a sovereign nation. When Christ come back, you think He's going to sit down in a courtroom and ask the Edomites and stuff, can He have His kingdom back?
They could not sell to a black person. And I think he was arguing against that. So do I think any black person who enjoys the right to vote, being able to stay whatever hotel or motel or Airbnb that they want to, being able to sit where they want to in public accommodations, or being able to marry who they want to, I believe has a debt of gratitude to that generation. And I don't think...
Right, so he right there admit that King protests for the right to enjoy the things on this earth, which were, he named them the pleasures of the flesh, to live in pleasure on the earth. He was more concerned about us being able to live in the same pleasure in this wicked border as the wicked people who held us captive. That was stupid. You shouldn't be remembered by that. You shouldn't even say we even got behind that. If we want to live wicked too, let us live in this wicked kingdom as free as y'all. That's stupid. And it's against the Most High God.
that they have to buy into or accept his theology in order to do that.
Go ahead and answer.
So I'm not going to go all the way back, but one of the things that's interesting about what Chad is saying in terms of being men is that Chad brought up for the first time, I believe, this issue of citizenship. But one of the rights of citizens in this country is to air your grievances and to air them to the people who you elect to represent you. So there's nothing unmanly about black folks saying, we want to air our grievances. And those grievances for my mother-in-law was born in Mississippi. She's, I ain't gonna say how old she is.
See that Christian always want to go back and start telling his personal testimony. What Chad was saying is that if we go to them and air our grievances with them, we should go in the statehood of we are men too. And if you don't treat us the way we want to be treated, we're going to treat you the same way. You are a guest in our country. This is our property. The Most High sent us here. This is our property. Our children are our property. The lands that we cultivated are our property that you're stealing. The resources is ours. It belongs to us, the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom of Israel. The northern kingdom was here first, but our brothers are welcome. We have established government, our own government, based on the Mosaic law. And you see what happened when they came over here. They abolished all of our culture and our inheritance that tied us back to our identity. So yeah, it is a feminine position to say, you are the Lord, you are my masters, will you allow me to do something? That's a woman's role. And that's where we are now, and that's where the Israelite camps are, that I don't give a damn if it costs you your life. Stand up and be a man. Put away childish thinking. The Most High released us from slavery, and you don't want to leave Babylon. You don't want to leave Egypt. You do not want to leave Egypt saying, look what Esau done. Look, they killing us. Oh, my God. If it was white, you wouldn't do him like that. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. That's a woman's role. All praises to the Most High. Stand up. Stand up.